Hello, and welcome to my Xbox and Me episode. Oh crap! I don't have anything in front of me.
561.
Wait. 561. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only. It's the man on the ones and twos. It's Mr. Paul D-Spawn.
Hello there.
I've got milk in my hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
I
can
just
tell
feel
you're
like
in a
telling
hotel.
people. Yep, you can tell. No, the energy's a bit off today. I am probably the most tired I've been in a long time. Yes, I'm in a hotel. Of course, we are alongside the one and only Too Fresh Crash. Crash, how are you?
I'm good. I love the camera sway while you were doing that.
Too Fresh Crash. Yeah, I'm here, man. We're here. Yes, I am currently in a hotel room in Birmingham. Oh God. I will say I usually like Birmingham. I'm okay. I'm not coming back to Birmingham if I don't have to. Like this has been an interesting trip. But I was there with Dream. I was at DreamHack. I've been at DreamHack the last 3 days. And yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. I'll be honest. It's a bit of an interesting one. I just got an alert on my phone that the Tottenham manager just got fired. So
Hey.
Good or bad?
fuck. Well, we're in a relegation battle, but that's not why we're here, Craig. We are here for My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast right here on youtube.com/My Xbox and Me and all podcast services. If you want to support us financially, patreon.com/MCFixer. If you just want to support us by supporting us, go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I say it all the time, please. I would love to not be stuck at 1,700 subs. Like, let's just get to 1,800. That would be nice. Just to see a different number. That would be cool. So yeah, go do that. If you haven't checked out the short form content, please go and do so. D-Spawn just to put up a really nice video. Very, very good video. So well done to D-Spawn. Thank you. And yeah, topic of the show, D-Spawn. What is it?
Good question. We have choices. Let's go with Xbox Game Pass might be getting another tier.
Okay, well, take it away, mate. I'm just here.
So yeah, data miners have found rumors of a new Xbox Game Pass tier known as Triton, which will only feature Xbox first-party games. So this is kind of leaning into rumors that Microsoft are planning on shaking up the Game Pass tiers again, obviously following Asha Sharma's recent move into CEO status. And obviously she's talked in the past few weeks about wanting to kind of bring down the price of Game Pass for people where she can. And this suggests that this might be that. So yeah, data miners have found a list of games that would be available in this Triton tier. That obviously Triton is just a code word, but the games are Doom Eternal, Doom 64, Dishonored 2, Fable Anniversary, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Gears 5, Halo 5 Guardians, Halo Wars 2, Hellblade 1, Ori and the Blind Forest, Psychonauts, State of Decay 2, Elder Scrolls Online, and Retro Classics.
Okay. I mean, I feel weird about this. I'm not sure how I feel. I do think it's not the worst idea, actually. I don't love the new tiers. Keep adding new tiers, but I don't hate the idea of first party. Is the rumor that it's going to include new first party titles, like continuously, or?
There's no rumors on what it's going to include going forwards. This is just what's been like, what data miners have found is listed in this tier. So whether it changes, I know we've got like, they had for a while, honestly, the tier system is confusing even to this day to me. It's like
Absolutely.
they had the core tier, which had like a select number of games. Would this replace that and just be like, here's the first party tier only? Like, there's a low end one, or would this be the high end one, or is this like a small selection to get your whistle wet, as it were? It then gets you into the bigger tiers. Who knows what?
Leave my whistle alone.
I'll never leave your whistle alone.
I don't want it wet. No, thank you. Crash, where you at?
This is a interesting one because I think where I ultimately sit on this depends on price point, which we obviously don't have with this. And like you said, new games. I think if it doesn't have new games, but it's at like a relatively cheaper price point, I think that's perfectly fine.
Nope. Disagree.
Boom.
I just think it's unnecessary at that point. Like, go on.
I'm gonna disagree with that because I think there's a lot of people who look at Xbox from the outside in and are like, I don't want to pay the price for Game Pass even as it is right now to get onto that ground floor for just Xbox games and stuff like that. That I think if you come in cheap enough, and I don't think Xbox would come in cheap enough, and that's why this tier probably won't end up being worth it. I think you do have an avenue to get people at least into the Xbox ecosystem that otherwise wouldn't interact with it.
What is cheap enough to you? Out of interest.
My mind with it, and this is completely unrealistic and why it won't happen, and I know that it won't be the price point that I would say, but like $5 a month. It won't be
Oh,
that.
damn. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I think we're pitching it at different places as well. My head for what I would do. ROG, can you shut up? You're meant to just be charging. Sorry about that. If in my mind, if this is like, okay, we want to keep getting people back into the Xbox ecosystem. We know people are excited for Gears. Let's give them a reason to be here over PlayStation because we're still putting games out on PlayStation. Here is the Game Pass Xbox tier, and this is all of our first party stuff, and including brand new Xbox first party games. Can we get it back down to the price it was without the third party stuff? So I'm talking £15 a month. Is that where we was at? I think it was at $15. I think it was like $11.99. But I'm saying £15. That's where I would go.
yeah.
That's what. Yeah, but because Ultimate now is 25, £22.99, $25. So if you come down to like 15, but it's all first party titles,
Yeah.
potential.
I mean, I don't think it would be all first party titles, at least going off of the data mine, and that could be incorrect. This is a data mine, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
A
But yeah,
lot of
what-
first party stuff not in the data mine is notable, is the thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, the fact
Yeah.
that some of the games that are listed just on Doom alone, like no Doom the Dark Ages, not the original Doom big reboot,
Yeah.
just Doom 64 and Doom Eternal. Like, so it looks like it's a selection that's been picked. And if that is the case, it's like it makes no sense. It's like, isn't that what the core tier was?
Yes.
It was supposed to be like a selection of games to get people excited for Game Pass and in through
Absolutely.
the door. And yeah. So unless this is like a very low like point to entry, it just makes no sense to include this.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's yeah, I don't know. I don't hate the idea of a Game Pass tier that's cheap. Though.
No, I don't either. But the question is, like, what else do they cut out of it? Because the whole idea of the rebranding of the tiers when they last did it was to bring all of the functionality across the tiers. So, like, cloud gaming and things like that. All of that's on every tier now. And it's like, are they then going to go back and muddy the waters again of like removing functionality from tiers?
Well,
who cares about cloud gaming, bro? Like generally,
I know,
like,
but it,
no. Let me land, 'cause I
I
don't mean that in the way that I just came across. What I mean by that is like, if you're trying to cut prices down on everything, cloud is the one thing you definitely do cut back on, right? Surely.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Like, I'd much rather first party titles in this day one than but it includes cloud and Fortnite and blah 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 blah. But then there's also the other rumor, right? Like the other rumors about the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, this could be something that is part of like, let's bundle this up with Netflix and do something like that, and that's what this is being looked at as. Which the price would end up being more than it'd probably be like $20 for Netflix and whatever. Or I don't know how much Netflix would be willing to cut and how much Xbox would realistically be willing to give for a deal like that. That's a whole different question on whether that would end up being worth it for a lot of people. Because the weird thing with bundling up with Netflix is a lot of people use other people's Netflix accounts, and Netflix has been fighting back on that a little bit with making people
you have to redo all that stuff now. Yeah.
People are committed to using other people's Netflix accounts still, and will figure out ways through that. I don't know how many people would want to do that, to have their own Game Pass subscription tied to a Netflix subscription when they're already probably sharing a Netflix subscription a lot of the times. I feel.
Yeah, I guess that's the way that maybe Netflix are looking at it like, it's a way for us to stop the password sharing on top of that, right? If we keep providing more value, then it gives people a reason to want their own account, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and again, the question would be if, like, obviously, like, right now we're just talking about like bundling 2 subscriptions together. Do you think there is a future where you can play Xbox games via a Netflix
Yes.
browser,
Yeah.
like you can with mobile games now on there?
Why not? Right? If the infrastructure is there and
If it
you
just
can play it, if it's just boot up Netflix and here's the Xbox tab.
Mhm.
Like, why not? They've already done it with Samsung, so why not? Why not?
I-
It's on a Fire Stick. It's on
It's
bloody everything. So why not a Netflix subscription? Like,
I think the problem with it would be unless they're bundling it up with all Netflix subscriptions and not like a special bundle. I don't think Netflix has like special bundles for special stuff
It
on
does.
there.
yeah, it
Does
does.
it? Okay,
Yeah,
never
yeah.
mind.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did
They've
not
got
know
a
that.
separate tier for 4K.
Yeah, they've got separate tiers for 4Ks
no,
and
no.
things like that.
They have
And you
separate
can
tiers for 4Ks and things like that, but they don't have separate tiers for specific shows and stuff like that.
Oh no.
no,
Yeah,
but
and I
there
think
should
that
be
would be
nothing to
the
stop them doing that. Like well,
sure, but they haven't done it before. Is the problem?
no, but again,
It's like that. This would be a first for them to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna have an Xbox tier, but whenever somebody goes to it and they want to click on it, they're gonna need another subscription for that. Netflix hasn't done that yet, and they might do it with Xbox or something like that. I think that would be the only hurdle for them. Is
I
like you
mean,
are
but
like changing the
that's just associated
perspective
accounts,
of
though, right?
Netflix. What was that?
You just set it out once and then it's done. It's not you got to keep re-signing in or anything like that.
yeah.
You have to reset, but if you're not subscribed, so if you
I
go on
would-
Yeah.
Netflix and you see, like, I think that is the hurdle of like, I don't know. I'm not in marketing. I don't know if that would
Yeah,
hurt
yeah,
Netflix or anything like that. I don't know what sort of
Mm.
optics that would have for them.
I mean, the smart play would be to show it to everyone, and then if you click on it and you don't have access on your subscription, it's just like you need to up your subscription to whatever tier it is on Netflix to give you the Xbox access.
Yeah.
Sure, but
And it's just an upsell to anyone who's on there, right? Because if
don't
you're
think
floating through, you're scrolling through Netflix and you see, oh, I can play Halo 5 on Netflix, and you click on it like, oh no, you need to be in a different subscription. You'd be like, but I kind of want to play Halo 5 on Netflix. I'll just click it and pay for it for a month.
I agree. But I don't know. The problem with that is how are people who already are used to Netflix not doing that going to react to it?
I don't
And
think
will
they
they
can
be?
give a crap.
No, they'll
I
click
don't think
it.
so either. But like you
Yeah,
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is like you don't know. I don't know the metrics behind that. I don't know like how many people would get swayed off. I don't know if Netflix has information on that.
I don't know. I don't think I would care personally. Like, I don't think I'd be, oh, well, most people are going to look at it and go, I don't care about Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at how many users Netflix has, they're going to look at it and go, not for me. And then
Yeah.
it's picking up on those dads of like, oh, I
Yeah.
can play Tomb Raider? Cool. let me do that.
They could do. Netflix does have you be able to switch to the child mode, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where they have the normal mode and child mode. They
Uh-huh.
could
Game
also
mode.
have a video game mode or something like that in
Yeah.
the app, which is
Well,
completely
they already have.
possible.
Don't they already have that for their game stuff?
It's
They-
just
I know
Their
the
listed
game
as you're
stuff will show
scrolling
up
through.
normally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying like they could. So what I'm saying is they could easily put those two things together.
Yeah, a
And
whole
it's like
gaming section.
games,
Yeah.
boom, and then when you click on an Xbox specific game, which requires Game Pass, you click. It would be frustrating. There, I think it gets more frustrating because it's like, oh, I can play a Lego Party. Oh, I can play
Yeah.
Click Halo. Oh, I can't play this. Well, that's bullshit. That's when I think you'll see
The simple
more
thing.
frustration. Yeah.
The simple thing to do there would just be have an overlay to say, like, put a padlock over it to say, like, you can see it, but you can't
Oh,
play
sure.
it.
But that
And
would
if you
still piss
click
me
it-
off.
Yeah. And I mean, if we're like, we've just turned into Netflix marketing at this point, right? What they
Of
should
course,
do,
absolutely.
they got the Tomb Raider show, you finish the Tomb Raider show, it's like, at
Oh,
the end of it,
yeah.
it's like, do you want to play Tomb Raider now?
Oh no, that and I think that's the natural progression, right?
Mhm.
I'm surprised they don't do that with the games they have now. 'Cause they've got like a Stranger Things
Yep.
game on Netflix and stuff. I'm surprised that isn't
Benchmark, yeah.
something they do now. Which I don't think the conversion rate would be huge, but it's a great marketing beat for we have games.
Yeah.
So
It's like, you
Yeah.
just watched Stranger Things finale, why don't you play the game?
Yeah.
Or you've
I
just
think once-
you've just sat through that horrendous Devil May Cry anime.
I think the last thing we wanted to do was watch Stranger Things at all.
but yeah, I do think it's an interesting one. I do hope Netflix and Xbox do get in bed together a little bit because I just think anything that can hopefully drive the price downwards for everyday consumers is a win for us right now, especially right now with the industry being in the state that it is across the board. And I think, Chris, I don't know if you remember the episode we did when we spoke about like the evolution of Netflix. We spoke about all of this, by the way. Like we spoke
I
about,
believe
the
it.
price going up, and they're going to partner with Netflix, and we said
Yeah,
we
we
had
did. We
said
did. We did. We
all
did.
of
We
this.
did.
I
Yeah, yeah.
remember doing an episode, and
Yeah.
I think someone wrote in a question about like, at what price point does it become too much? And I remember us
Yes.
both saying at 25, that's where, and I would expect it to have Netflix and blah blah blah
Yeah,
blah
yeah,
blah blah
yeah.
blah. And now we sit here today, 2026, and we're like, oh, fuck, it's all coming true.
It's possible. Yeah. Yeah. No. We did.
We were
did.
talking about it from like a far, far away future,
It's
and it's here already.
it's so yeah. That's like half
Clearly-
a decade away. That's like so. Yeah, we're
Exactly.
Clearly, yeah, Asha Sharma is clearly listening to this podcast. Hi, Asha. How you
Of
doing?
course. How you doing? She might listen to Unlock, so she might have heard me once. Kind of cool. It's kind of cool to think Phil Spencer might have heard me once. You know, he might have went, "Who the fuck is this guy on this podcast? God damn it! Why'd they let him on? Jesus!"
fast forward during these parts.
Every time he hears a British voice, he's like, "Nope, I'm okay. Nope, I'm
To the
okay."
end.
But yeah, no, yeah, it's been interesting. It's an interesting idea. I'm more on board for the Netflix deal, and then figuring that out than I am this new tier, unless this new tier, because at that point you're then talking about a Netflix tier and a new tier to then go along with Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass PC, Game Pass Core. Is that still a thing right now? Standard. You're right.
Yeah.
Standard and premium.
Standard,
and then
premium, ultimate, yeah, and then PC.
And then PC. Yeah. So interesting.
And then
Yeah,
whatever this
I
one
don't
is.
know.
I mean, there's no guarantee that this one isn't the Netflix one that they're looking at and they're building out.
No, absolutely. I hope that's the one thing I don't want them to do. Don't barrier to entry this shit in terms of like, if you're going to go in partnership with Netflix, go in partnership with Netflix. Don't come with a half-hearted, here's Doom on the N64 and here's like, no, bro, just bring the games, make sure the infrastructure works, make sure the streaming works, make sure all of that stuff works, and just do it properly if you're going to do it the first time. Don't drip feed people because people don't care after they don't have the thing that you want.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. I guess time will tell, lads. Time will tell. Baseball, get us into this week's dashboard, mate. What news is upon us?
Well, I thought we might start by talking about what's in our box first.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that segment. Sure, let's do that. Damn, it tells you what a piece of paper can do for you, for everything that I read. Damn it. What's been in your box, Diesel? What have you been playing?
I, weirdly, out of nowhere, have been playing The Division 2.
Yeah, you said you bought this.
Yeah, so I talked about how I bought it because it was on Steam and I like owning everything on Steam at this point. And yeah, and then you mentioned, because I bought it because I saw it was super cheap, like £3.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned they've got a realism mode in there now. I was like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
So I jumped in and checked out the realism mode. It is everything I wanted Division to be. Get rid of the bullet sponges, get rid of the random loot drops and stuff. You earn them from missions now. Headshots are headshots and that kind of stuff. It's it feels good to run around.
Can I give you a hot take?
Go on.
I think that they will launch that Division 3 with two different modes, a realism mode and the random loot mode.
There's normal
and
mode,
people will choose which way they want to play until we get to end game, and then end game will literally be RNG again. But it will give you a baseline character to get you to a certain point towards the end of the game. I can just see them doing something like that.
Yeah, well, I know the realism mode is a full-fledged, it's the full mode, so it's everything.
Yeah.
So they could easily do a realism version of Endgame. But no, I'm really enjoying it.
No, I don't think they can. Go on, Rush.
I think they can add it later, but I think on launch you lose a lot of the hype of what those endgames modes are. If you do
I agree.
Is I think what the problem would be.
Yeah.
Maybe it comes sooner than however long Division 2's been going now. Maybe
10 years, 10-year anniversary, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 10 years. You're right, 10 years. Yeah, bloody hell.
I think you're right
Bloody
that it could launch with the realism mode, and then they do the raid whenever, and then 2 weeks, a month after the raid drops, they're like realism mode coming to.
Here's realism mode. Here's the loot you'll get from it. Boom.
And you get guaranteed, and it's like a weekly
Yeah.
rotation or bi-weekly
Yeah.
rotation of certain loot you get from it or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I know people love it. People loved. I haven't had a chance to check it out for myself, but people love the realism mode 100%.
Yeah.
Not the gear so much, but the gameplay itself. It's just like, damn, this feels real good.
Yeah, sniper rifles feel worthwhile. Like you can get
Yeah.
one-shot headshots. Like like actually paying attention to like using your abilities and the cooldowns and them actually mattering again. And like, yeah, no, it's really cool. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, I'm gonna put a lot more time into it. I think, well, at least until the mode ends.
I assume you die faster in it also.
Yes. Yeah. So you take damage faster as well. You have like obviously you have like shields and stuff, but they go down like super fast.
Yeah. Anything else you want to play?
No, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll go next then. I played the brand new Rainbow Six Siege event. It's the Metal Gear Solid one. Again, they're not called. They can't. I'm guessing they don't have the licensing to call it Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear anything because it's redacted, which is kind of a smart way of them doing it. That's what it's called. I really like it. I think this is such a smart thing for them to do with Rainbow at this point. Getting in these licensed characters in very smart ways and creating these really fun events around it. So it's a 4v4 respawn. How do you attack and extract the modus? So each you have like three different points, A, B, C, and you have to go and lock down an area pretty much, hack it, and then you have to get the modisc out of the building and then outside. Now, it's not as balanced as nice as I would have wanted, but for a fun, limited time event, it's cool. And all the Metal Gear skins they've got in there, Ocelot and Grey Fox and Snake and Psycho Mantis. It's like, yeah, man, this is really damn cool. Like, really, really cool. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, please do. It's definitely worth checking out, especially if you're a Metal Gear fan. So yeah, I've been playing that. You're a Metal Gear fan, right?
Yeah, I am a huge fan.
And you haven't tried it yet?
No, yeah.
I think it's worth. You probably. So you start off with you start off with no ammo as well in your main gun. So you start off with pistols only, and then you go around picking up ammo, and then obviously has all the Metal Gear like chung, like sound effects as you pick it up and stuff. Like I say, if you get bored one night, I definitely think it's worth jumping in just for the fun of it.
Okay.
And it gives you each of the characters still got their abilities and stuff. It's nice. It's a nice fun time, to be honest with you. Kind of a attack heavy, I'll be honest, more than defense. But yeah, it's a good time, especially with respawns. It gives you a chance to, play a bit more Siege than usually when you're playing ranked or unranked and stuff. So yeah, that. And then I played more Crimson Desert. Obviously, we all spoke about Crimson Desert, or me and Deesmore spoke about it last week. Chris, you weren't here, unfortunately. But obviously, I was only an hour in. I was very negative, but I definitely had a lot of issues with the game. I played another, I would say probably 6 hours now. On top of that, I did a stream not too long ago before I left for Birmingham. And everything that I said last week is exactly the same, to be honest with you. And the story for me is non-existent. Characters are bland. The world is quite impressive in terms of the exploring in the world is fun. I enjoyed that part of the game, like going off and all right, I see something over there, let's go over there. But I just haven't fell in love with the world, if I'm being totally honest, which is a shame. Every place that I've done thus far, and where I've ended is, and Chris will know, where I've ended is the camp, setting up the camp that I've just been introduced to a new character and all that stuff. But it feels. I said it last week. I'll say it again. It feels like a game that has so many fantastic mechanics inside of it, without the right person at the top being able to bring all of it together. I think like learning different skills by watching people, whether that's move sets or fishing or cooking or all that stuff, going into shops and reading, quote unquote, reading labels and then see what comes up. All of that stuff I think is fantastic. And that's stuff that I hope we now see in games like Witcher and, every big open world game moving forward, but I need substance. I need story that's actually worth doing. I need characters that I actually like, and I have so far I have none of that. Um, Again,
I
some of the things, even building the camp, is like, oh, this is just boring, man. Like, why am I doing this? Like, yeah,
I think the settlement stuff past what you did, because I do think the start of the settlement's the most boring stuff. I think the
yeah,
settlement stuff is stuff that you'll actually
enjoy it.
enjoy in the game. Yeah.
Okay, I am planning on
Because it's
going
like
back. I'm
growing
not
out the
done with it.
settlement, you make it bigger, you can send people on tasks and stuff like that. I think it's something that you'll enjoy. But as I was playing this game, every time I play it, I'm like, ooh, Fix would really like this one aspect of the game. And then
Yep,
5 minutes later, it's like, Fix would really hate this
hate
aspect
this.
of the game.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's
So
kind of where I've come down on it. Really, it's my appetite for these type of games have definitely changed, and I'm definitely playing more of them now compared to what I have done ever. Um, but do you know what? This game has that one big issue as well. It's like I looked at how long to beat, because like maybe I'll just do the main quest. Like I'll just do that, and then see. I'll pick up all the good bits that I do like, and I'll avoid all the stuff that I don't care about. And it was like, how long to beat? 50 hours, and I'm just like, oh. That's a big game. And just full transparency, I bought the game, I paid for it myself, and whatever. Because in case people are like, "Oh, well, you got a code for it, so you don't care if you don't play it." No, I I bought it. I still don't think I'll be able to finish this game. I just think I'm gonna hit too many roadblocks. It has this weird. The bosses have a really weird level spike, where at 1 minute I feel like I'm just like destroying everybody, no issues at all, and then I come up to that first camp where they put the crown on someone new. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And like it took me like 5 attempts, I think, to beat that. And could be a multitude of things. Number one, I haven't been exploring that much, so I haven't gone off and got other weapons or bought new armor or any of those things. Which again, that's a me problem. That's a skill issue. That's a you're not playing it correctly, quote unquote. But when the game's so open and like we're not going to tell you what to do. Like go do what you want. Like you need
yeah.
to go and build your character. But the problem is I think this should have been a creator character as well. I think that would make me so much more attached to the character, even with them being pretty moody and boring in my opinion. And again, I love some moody and boring characters. Cloud, I loved him. Not Noctis, who was in Final Fantasy Boy Band 15. Not it was it 15?
Noctis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
15.
Noctis.
Noctis, thank you. Noctis. I love moody characters. That's not the issue. But if you're gonna give me a moody character, give me a fucking moody character, not just a yeah.
Yeah, there's also certain points where you're playing the character and you'll talk to other characters and the character will respond as if you just responded to them, even though your character is completely silent. So there's literally no reason whatsoever for it not to be create a character as well. I get
Yeah.
why it's not. They have 3 different characters you can end up unlocking throughout the story that you can
Spoilers.
play as. Oh,
I
sorry.
said all the trailers.
They've shown that for forever.
Yeah, they're showing it loads.
I was shocked when it
Spoiler.
happened. I was shocked when I was like, oh, you
Really?
can change this character. I was like, oh, I'm okay. I don't want to do that, but maybe I should because I
They
don't
have
like who I'm playing as.
you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Oh, I shouldn't.
No, because your skill points are shared across all characters, which is another thing
Ah,
to complain about. I
Yeah.
will say that the more
Mm.
I've played the game, the faster you get skill points, and it's not as dire as I thought at first when I locked the character. And I'm like, I'll never end up getting to this character because I'll never be able to invest points. And I'm like, okay, no, I see an endpoint. The health, spirit, and stamina are all shared across the characters, but like the actual skills for the weapons and stuff, which makes sense, especially with how free it is to switch between characters and stuff like that. And you
Mhm.
can also summon them as a companion to travel with you, which
Okay,
you
that's
can
cool.
do as well.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Let me riddle me this, Crash.
Go ahead.
Do you understand why you're dead yet?
No. Have I
Okay,
finished the campaign?
brother. At
Have I
least give
finished the
me a
campaign?
at least give me a carrot on the end of the stick.
The old guy gave you a carrot.
What did he? Oh, the old guy. Did he give me a
Yeah,
fucking
he said, I don't
carrot?
have time. You don't have time to go over
Oh, the
everything.
classic Destiny thing. Yeah,
will
I
say,
don't
like,
totally say I don't have time. Yeah.
The first 4 hours of this game were incredibly grueling because of that start, and
Yeah.
it's like it's just a weird narrative start that feels very unnecessary, they could have really just had you stumble into a temple or whatever and get the abyss powers and sort of like, oh, some crazy shit's happening with this and stuff's falling out of the sky. You didn't need that whole intro of you dying and going into the river.
You
or whatever.
can't kill me and give me no answers at all. Of like, not even like a wake up and a like nothing. Just like,
Yeah.
I'm alive.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
what
very
do you mean
much.
you're alive? What do you mean you're alive? Like,
I think they've come out and said it, and it was very much an afterthought to it. The story where it's like the game wasn't developed with the story around, which I think is fine, but then have like shoehorning that story focus afterwards, I think is the issue.
Yeah.
Of like, we're gonna like try and tell this narrative now and attach it. It's like you didn't need to do that. It could have just been like, hey, the band disbanded, go get the group back together and sort of go from there.
And that, I think that, to me, that would have been a much better story, because it would have been a case of like, oh, cool. All the people that I don't know, I'm now going to go and get to know as well while I'm picking them up one by one. So, yeah, no. Yeah, controls, still the most infuriating thing. It's the biggest disappointment in this entire game for me. I can get beyond the bad story. If your world is good enough, which I think the world actually is good enough, I can get beyond the level spikes. If your game is good enough, which I think the game moment gameplay, I don't think it's amazing, if I'm being totally honest, but it's serviceable enough for me to get me through. What I can't get behind is when you give me controls that feel like they were designed for an N64 controller, and like there's just not enough buttons. There's not enough buttons to do what you want me to do. So then at least make it intuitive on the keyboard. You don't even do that. So yeah, very frustrating. I'll be honest.
There's been a lot of rumors about this game's development, about very much like it's all siloed areas working on their own ideas and then slapping them together at the end, and it very much shows. Like whether I don't know how much truth there are to those, but like what we see in the game, it very much looks like that. It feels like a game that is like, I think I had this conversation at work where I talked about like, it feels like one person.
Can't hear you.
Sorry, I hit the mute button. My apologies.
Say again.
Yeah, I was gonna say it feels like one person wanted to make a Dark Souls game with the boss fights, and then another person wanted to make Breath of the Wild, and no one was in the middle to stop them. They just went off and let them do it, and then slapped them together at the end. Yeah, but you've got to have a vision at the end to say like, all right, and this is how it's all gonna work together. And I don't think that vision's there. I think they've just come like, we've got the elements. And the elements themselves work. Like, combat works really well on its own. I think like when you going into a bandit camp and slapping up people with your abilities is fun. But then when you have to use those same buttons to then use jump and double jumps and dashes and all that kind of stuff to get away from things, and it's just like, we had the conversation last week where I told you I dived out of a window and accidentally force punched the floor and called in a bunch of guards because I pressed the button that I thought was the jump button, which it was the jump button, but it also happened to be the force punch button. And it's just like, it's just it's so close to being amazing. So close. Like, if it just had someone in the driving seat to bring it all together, I think this could have been a 10 out of 10 game, but like it's man.
This is where
infuriating.
For me, this is where I feel like people like Vincent Pella and like Neil Druckmann and people like that, I guarantee this is where they make their money. Like these are those roles, and obviously rest in peace to Vince. But like I reckon this is where like you have creative people who make so many good ideas, but you need somebody just stood up tall, leading the ship, being like, okay, I love it, I love it, I love it. But that doesn't work because of this doesn't work, and then I've got to figure out how to mold all that together. And that's why it's so important to have like these people at the head of your studios. To be honest with you, but yeah, it's an interesting one. Crash, I want to hear your full thoughts on this, not just my negative. Again, there is positive in there as well, by the way. But what do you actually think of the game? We didn't hear your first thoughts.
I echo a lot of what you guys said with like the control schemes and stuff like that. I am at a point where I've gotten used to the controls, but getting used to the controls does not mean that they never still infuriate me of me like trying to do something, but I mistime the two buttons I have to press so my character does the thing I don't want to do. And there's a lot of double button presses and stuff like that, and realistically, I don't know how much better some of that stuff can get because of like how much stuff that's layered on top of the system. But I do think once you get a handle on it, it is pretty fun. I do like exploring, like you said, the exploring is really fun. I like that you can clinch your sword out, and it'll show you like the highlights of where there's abyss artifacts and stuff like that to sort of like guide you of like, oh, there's a next checkpoint that you might want to go to while you're exploring. Of like, you don't need to go there, but there might be something cool there. I like there's a lot of hidden chests in places that I think is very fun. I think the combat only gets better the more you go in, especially as the normal enemies get tougher to fight. Because early on, it feels very much like kind of like you're playing a Dynasty Warrior game of you're just like
Oh yeah, Shadow of
flying
Mordor.
through people. Yeah, and I'm like, it's fun because like the visual, you get like the executions and stuff, and I'm like, that feels very old school Assassin's Creed to me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I like that aspect of it. But once the difficulty spikes a little bit and you have more tools in your arsenal as well, I feel like the combat becomes a lot more deliberate, and you feel like your agency is rewarded in what you decide to do in the combat, which I feel is very nice. Um, Boss encounters in specific are either very fun or some of the most frustrating things ever in existence. Of like, this just doesn't feel like there's some boss fights where I feel like they want me to do the little grapple thing with the arm, which in combat you can do some cool stuff of like you can grapple somebody and pull them to you, or you can
Yeah.
blink to them with a different ability. But it's so hard to do, at least on controller. I feel like it's probably easier on mouse and keyboard, but all the other controls are better on controller. That I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
switching for that one thing. Of like, it's hard to aim at a character because you can't just press it because your character will just crouch. Even if you're locked onto them, it won't automatically lock onto the character you're trying to grab with it. That it feels a little bit frustrating. So I don't end up doing that. But another thing that's just like a cool ability, like when this game works and you get to like pull off this stuff and the systems in the game, it feels incredibly, incredibly rewarding. The problem is that doesn't always happen, and sometimes you end up in a state where it's a little frustrating. Of like, I had this really cool thing in my head, and I know that I can do it in the game, but the reason I couldn't do it is because it doesn't function as well as it should. And
Yeah.
some of that stuff I feel like can get fixed over time. They've already done 2 patches where they've fixed certain stuff. They gave you more stamina while you're gliding already, which feels so much better now. The gliding was kind of ass before, to be honest, where
Yeah.
it didn't feel like I could go anywhere with it. Now it feels like I can cover some pretty decent distance. I like being able to grab onto trees and then pull them back and then launch myself in the air. I think that's very fun. I got in a situation where I was getting chased by a man on a bear and could not kill him. I ran across a river, grabbed onto a tree, and then flew away. And that was very satisfying. It's moments like that where when you play the game as a sandbox, it is very fun. The problem is sometimes the game's like, we want to take you away from the sandbox and do other stuff. Like when you talked about the camp of like going and nailing down the things in the camp, which I don't
Oh,
think,
bro.
from what I've played, they don't make you ever do again. So
No.
it's like they were like, we can do this mechanic, we can set this up, and we're gonna do that. And then they never do it. I don't know if they at one point were like, we're gonna let players set up camps wherever they want or something like that. I have absolutely no clue why it's in there. It feels weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loot I think is really cool. I think they have a lot of really cool weapons and abilities you can get. Um, a lot
Loot,
like
cool.
there's
Menus, dog shit.
yeah, the menu's not great. The inventory system is atrocious.
Yeah.
Even they've made it a little bit better. You have storage now that you can actually use. Before it was just like
Yeah.
after combat loot would go there. Now it is full on storage that you can just store a bunch of items in there. So I just store up all my ingredients and stuff like that. And I'm like, I want my inventory as empty as it can be while I go and explore, which is fine. It is a thing that still frustrates me from time to time, but I feel like that is something that can get fixed with updates. Whereas like controls, I don't know how much they can fix the controls for what they are, realistically, and story stuff obviously is not going to get fixed.
Nah.
I feel like just leaning more into contextual keys with the controls. Like if I'm in a fight, make it like the a certain button is going to be a fight mechanic rather than it being a jump or whatever. Like
Yeah.
or if you walk up to something, it's like I don't have to press LB to then look at it to
That's-
then.
That's the
that-
issue for me. That's the
Yeah.
biggest issue in this entire
things,
game for
like,
me. Like
making
the camp
contextual-
thing, I got stuck.
Yeah.
The camp, because I forgot that I had to push LB to do everything.
Yeah.
So I'm
like,
just there like,
why am I just
yeah.
jumping next to this pole? Yeah. It's like make it
Yeah.
so like it's contextual. So like if I walk up to something, I'm like it pops up on the screen. It's like, you want to talk to this person? Yes. I don't. Not that I. But that's the thing. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you can just walk up to someone and talk to them. But then other times you
Yeah,
have to press
sometimes they'll
LB to look at them to then talk
Leave
to
in
them.
combo.
Yeah,
even like
it's
the
just like,
wood cutting. I think they did an update
Oh,
that lets you
bro.
mine without having to aim down, but the wood cutting you still have to aim with the left button. And I'm
mhm.
like, this just feels so tedious. Let me press X
Yeah.
and my character will do the wood cutting and just give me the logs. I get,
Yeah.
or like it'll knock the tree over or something like that. Just make it less. It feels so tedious to do a lot of times. And there's a lot of stuff in the game that just feels tedious. Part of it for like the RP aspect, I guess, if they really want you to feel like you're actively doing this, and I can respect that to a certain degree, but also there's like
Yeah.
a thing as of it being too much. And it's too
Oh,
much and not in a like, oh, this is super realistic and deep and mechanic heavy, like a Red Dead Redemption, which I don't like Red Dead Redemption, certain aspects of Red Dead Redemption because they're too real, but they make sense in that game and they're not negatives in that game at the same
but
time.
And the
the other
controls
thing
make
is the
sense in
game
that game.
ends. That true, but the game
Yeah.
is going to end. Like I feel like with this game, it's like, oh well, we want to be long for the sake of being long. Like there's certain things like setting up the camp. It's like, bro, like this is just not fun. Like it
It didn't need
feels
to be.
like, and they are at MMOs here, but like so it
Yeah.
makes sense to me. It's like, but it's like it does feel like an MMO in
100%.
aspects. I'm
I
like,
think
that's not what you made though. That's not what you sold it as. You didn't sell it as that. So
I think when I look at this game and I even look at Final Fantasy 16, I see a lot of the same things of like when you look at the MMOs those teams made, you see a lot of the overlap in some design choices of like, oh, those
yeah,
are also the biggest flaws in those games. And I think the same thing's happening here where it's like it may same thing with the next team that Yoshi's team, Yoshi P's the team does for Final Fantasy. Like I'm very excited to see what Pearl Abyss does next for a single player game because I feel like they'll go into it with a lot more information on what works and doesn't work and hopefully come out with a better product, which
you
who
know
knows
what
at
else
the
they're
end of the
going with,
day.
Crash? A lot of money because they've
Mhm.
sold a lot of copies.
Yeah.
3 million last time. Again, I haven't been on the internet for a couple of days, but last time I checked, it was 3 million.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, bloody hell! Like
Yeah.
for a game that some people love or hate. Like, okay, so 3 million. How many of them got refunded? Who knows? But I bet it's less than we think.
Yeah.
So yeah, congrats to them. Again, they made a game that at least got the conversation going this year.
Yeah. I
Which
yeah.
yeah,
I think one thing that I think is very good about the game is we've talked a lot about like games just being games and sort of like having this sort of like whimsy is not the right word, but like sort of like this gamification to them where there's games that have been like over serious or like too I don't really know how to word it right now.
I know it's
Um,
them.
but this game does feel like it's a game for this like it's a game trying to be a game. It's not
Yeah.
sometimes it does escape that and it tries to be a little bit more and those are like sort of the low points for the game. But for the most part, it's like you can do this thing because you're playing a game and it would be something cool for you to do. And I really when the game does that, that's when the game is the most enjoyable. And it does that quite a bit, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely leads into those moments of like just trying to be cool for cool's sake. Even
Yeah.
whether it be like massive like boss fights and things like that, or whether it just be the fact that you can put a hat on a dog. You don't need to put a hat on a
Mhm.
dog, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. And why not? Right?
Yes.
It's a game being a game. And like, yeah, and you mentioned like things like Final Fantasy 16 and like how it has those kind of like MMO elements that might not have worked. But like at least with that game it had the direction to kind of like bring it all together. Where yeah, this just feels like it didn't have it at the no one was in that office to tell them no. And I think that's the problem.
Oh, there was.
And
They didn't listen.
yeah, and I hope now, like as they're looking back, and like you say, they've done like 2 big patches to fix things already. I hope that we keep seeing those, and we start seeing a lot more improvements, and hopefully they'll start to bring it to a place where we all want it to be. Because again, for all of the problems, I still have fun running around slapping up bandits and putting
Yeah.
hats
When
on
I'm
dogs.
when when I'm playing the game, I find it hard to put down the game sometimes of like I see something off in the distance, I'll stop once I get there, and that'll keep
Mhm.
happening, which is it's
Mhm.
really good. Like when I'm really when I'm enjoying the game, I'm really enjoying the game, and then when I'm not enjoying the game, I'm not enjoying it to a point where it's like I'm gonna stop playing right now. Other than the first 4 hours, the first 4 hours again, I want to repeat. The first four
Ruling.
hours were atrocious,
Ruling.
and that is, I
Yeah.
think, one of the biggest crimes you can commit in a game is having a bad opening. And this game has
Yeah.
a really bad opening. Um,
The fact that everyone
uh,
has universally said Chapter 3 is where the game gets good is
yeah,
wild.
yeah.
And how
which
many
is
hours
really,
in
really
is that
unfortunate.
roughly?
I hit it at like 9 hours.
You can get there
You
fast.
can, yeah, if you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
But
beeline
like
it, yeah,
it's counterintuitive to like you being like, I want to go explore, and the game's really like
yeah.
you should go explore. But if you go and explore, you'll have a
You'll have a
worse
sucky
experience
time.
over
Yeah,
it
yeah.
instead of just like focusing, mainlining the story for a bit. Also the camp stuff. I had read somebody say this, but I think I agree and echo the sentiment of like the camp stuff is the main story. Like that, if you treat that like the main story of like progressing your camp, you will, I think, enjoy the game more than just straight words.
Shoe,
You got this.
shoehorning?
Not shoehorning, just streamlining
Streamlining.
the main story.
Streamlining. Okay, we got
There
there.
we
We got
go.
there. We got there.
Words. Yeah, there's a lot to enjoy here, and I understand almost all of the review scores the game got from the 6s to the 10s. I'm like, I can
Mhm.
see the vision. I think there were some that were a little bit. The 10s might have been a bit too much, but there were some on both sides that were a little bit like you guys are trying a little bit too hard. But
We've
yeah,
got this far,
I
yeah.
will say a surprising outcome that I did not expect from playing this game. It's gotten me a lot more excited for the Fable game
Oh,
because there's a lot
Fable,
of like
Witcher. There's so many games. I'm like,
No,
oh my
Fable
god.
in specific for me because there's a lot of stuff this game does where it's like putting on the mask, robbing people, and having like these fun game moments that I'm like, oh yeah, I remember like there was stuff similar to this in Fable, and I can't wait. Like, oh, it actually has me excited to see like what they've done in this aspect for the next
Mm.
Fable, if it's in the next Fable.
I think you're gonna hate the next Fable.
I think I'm with you, but
I
I'm
think you've
hopeful. I
already
hope.
set yourself up for expectations. My expectations are not that at
Yeah.
all. So
No.
because again, I look at this as the indie, like Crimson Desert is like the indie version of like, and I don't know if they're indie or what, like double A, I assume, triple A, triple A. I don't know what Pelibis are. So anyway, it doesn't really matter. But like all these mechanics and all these things, and that's what kind of makes it special, right? And I don't think Fable is going to have as in depth because it's a triple A
Yeah,
game
but
where it's like it's going to be way more streamlined and make so
which
much more. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong,
I'm
but
fine with
that's what
that.
I just assume.
I don't need the expansiveness of my lighting just got horrible. I don't need the
No, you're fine.
expansiveness
There you go.
of Crimson Desert in it. Like I don't need to be able to do everything as in depth as Crimson Desert, but more so just like the ability to be able to role play in game to a
Okay, yeah,
certain aspect.
I
That's
think
what I'm
Fable will
looking
give you that.
forward
I
to.
think Fable will give you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I wasn't. I'm not expecting to be able to like chop down logs and like aim where my axe is going and stuff
No.
like that.
Crash, you'll
Yeah.
be able to take an apple seed from the game and plant it in the ground, and there'll be
And
a
it'll
tree.
grow. You know how unimpressive that would be nowadays,
Yeah.
which is
It's-
crazy.
Especially if it's all real time, you got to wait 100 years to check it out.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you know. Anything else you've been playing, Crash?
Yeah, I've played a little bit of Path of Exile 2. They dropped the Druid class, and I wanted to try that out, which is very fun. You can turn into a werewolf, bear, or dragon, and they have abilities that go through all of them. Very fun class. They've done some quality of life stuff. Enjoying it as much as I did the last time I played it. Really liking it. Not too much to say on that. I've
I
played.
was just laughing and shaking my head because when you said like werewolf, bear, and dragon, I thought it was just a werewolf bear. I was like, what the fuck's a werewolf bear, and how do I get to be one?
Good. Yeah, that's a good question. They should add that. Somebody add that.
I want to. Yeah, go. Every game needs a werewolf bear. I'm just saying.
I've played Pacopia.
Chat to me.
I really liked it at first. Very fun.
Oh,
I
okay.
love.
Uh-oh.
Let me get through it because I don't end up disliking it. It's not. I've just played enough of it. I got through the first area and got to the second area, and I saw you start all over, and I was like, I'm good. I don't need to. I don't need to re-explore and recruit people. I understand that's the loop of the game, and I don't think there's
Yeah.
anything wrong with it. I just think that was enough of it for me, where I don't wanna go through that again. I don't wanna because I was streamlining it as well, where I wasn't I wasn't fixing up the town, I wasn't fixing up roads, and I'm like, I just
Okay.
unlock things, I wanna unlock more Pokemon, and then I'll figure it all
Yeah.
out later. And they send you to another area, and I'm like, I still haven't figured out the last area. Why? Like, and I don't think again, I don't think it's the game's fault. I think it's actually really cool for people who are into this type of games of having different settings to like reconstruct and fix up and all that stuff. I think it's all really well done. It's just not for me, which
Yeah.
Animal Crossing wasn't for me as well, so it's not too surprising, right?
Yeah.
Other than that, I've also played the new Battlefield map they added a new map for the game mode, which is 6 teams of 3 players, where you're like in an underground bunker and you go through these dark areas where you have to put in night vision goggles, and it is ridiculously fun.
Oh, I
It doesn't
imagine.
have the horizontal aspect of it, so it's all like most of it's just flat. They do have some areas that are up, but they're purposefully like higher, so you have to play around that. It's very, very fun. I think I already liked the mode, but the mode was a little bit not super great because it was on the battle royale map,
Red
where now
Tech,
it's
yeah.
like its own dedicated map, and it functions very well. The night stuff is really cool. Um, I would really I'd recommend we do a 3-person stream of it at some point, but who knows? It's very fun. A thing that I didn't add onto my list that I played as well that I forgot. Vix is completely not onto it.
Oh,
Um,
I'm down. I'll download it again. Yeah, I've got no problem.
No, sorry, we'll get
So
back to
I
this
wonder
one.
I wonder if it supports ultra wide.
Probably.
I think they
I would
do.
be surprised if Battlefield did not support
See,
ultra wide.
now you can get me more interested in things. And new games on my ultra wide. Yeah.
Your
So
reason
go
to
on.
use it.
Exactly.
Other than that, I've also played. There was a new private server released for Marvel Heroes. Shout out to Purple Thingies, and I've jumped back into that to mess around with that because I missed that game. I
Yeah,
didn't play a
no.
lot of it. It was
No,
fun,
no,
but
no.
it's
I'd love to,
I
but
don't want to
no,
stick on it.
no,
No, I didn't think you would.
no.
I just wanted to go through it for old time's sake, you
Nostalgia.
know, that trip
It's
down
so
memory road.
disappointing that we got into that so late. It's so because I remember you used to play it and you spoke about it, and I was like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. And then like by the time we had gotten into it, you was like, bro, this game has been like, where you been? Like, I'm like, oh, no, I'm sorry, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's a shame. Yeah, I mean, it didn't make any money, so they had to kill it. But I'd like another Marvel MMO. Is DC Universe still a thing? Is that still
Yeah, that's still a thing.
running?
Yeah.
See what I mean? Like Marvel couldn't do it, but DC can. That's crazy.
Well, the same team that made that was making a Marvel MMO at one point, and that got canceled.
Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Down. Oh, fair enough. Anybody else? Anything else? Nope. All right, let's get into this week's dashboard then. Hit me with some news.
Breaking news is everything that was announced at the Xbox Partner Preview. So yeah, I'll just quickly run through some of the big ones in there. I'm going off of Xbox Wire. So for those that don't know what the Xbox Partner Preview was, they had a showcase last week, or earlier this week, where they showed off a bunch of new games from partners, a bunch of announcements of things coming to Game Pass, etc. So again, because I'm going off the Xbox Wire, go on.
Before you get into it, I'm interested because I haven't watched it yet. Again,
Mm-hmm.
been dealing with Birmingham stuff. How was the show? Was it just like a normal presentation from the preview stuff? Like they usually run pretty well. Like because the reason I ask is because I've seen some hellish feedback online from creators and press and fans just being like, this was awful. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of crazy. Was it bad or?
I think it was fine.
Yeah, I think it was fine. I don't think it was bad. I think it was one of the weaker ones they've had in regards to announcements and things like that. I will say a lot of it felt like things that we've seen elsewhere now showing up on Xbox, which we'll get into as we start going through the list.
Yeah.
So I don't think there was any like huge announcements in it, and I think that might be why it felt like it wasn't as big a deal to a lot of people. But for the presentation of everything, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I think it's games we've seen other places, and then a lot of games not coming in 2027 as well. I think
Oh, not coming
those
till
two paired
27.
together, I
Yeah.
can see that being um, sort of like a negative point, but I don't think it
Yes.
goes overly negative to like ruin the whole experience. I
No.
think there's a wide variety of games. I think for the most part, the pacing was pretty well, with the exception of sometimes they'd slow down to show you like, here's what we showed like the last few games, and it felt like really weird where they just want to tell you where the games are going. They're going to Game Pass and stuff like that. That felt a little bit unnecessary, and I feel like they could have maybe cut that out, but I don't think that was such a detriment to say that it was a bad showing
No.
off of that.
And I'll be honest, I think those are always there as every partner preview. So like it's nothing new.
Yeah,
But yeah, it does
State of
kind of
Play
throw
does those,
the
and
Yeah, State of Play does
Yeah.
them as well. So it's nothing major. But yeah, just to quickly go through everything again alphabetically because this is how Xbox Wire have got it. The first thing on the list is Alien Deathstorm, which is the new game from Rebellion, the team behind Titanfall and
I
Sniper Elite.
really quickly spoke to the community manager about that.
Mhm.
She said that they got announced. They seem very, very, very excited about it.
Yeah, there is
I
like
don't know how it looks, but
basically everything is in the name. It is a Death Storm on an alien world where you fight aliens. First person. There's another deep dive on Wire as well if you want to look at that. The actual last game on the showcase was a game called Artificial Detective, which looks like a kind of over the shoulder like Resident Evil like camera angle. Don't get excited. It's not a horror survival horror thing. It is more of a like
that.
it's a detective kind of thing. Like, so the premise is
Oh, I'm back in.
you are an android on Earth where
I'm out.
all of humanity has disappeared, and you are this like kind of like defunct android trying to figure out where all of humanity is, and your sidekick's like a little kid, and it's just like it's weird. It looks interesting. They use like kind of like status effects to kind of fight robots, like shooting like puddles with lightning to take them down and stuff like that.
I will say the actual gameplay, or what I don't know if it's actual gameplay or if it's just in game or whatever. I don't know if they clarified it. I don't remember if they clarified it in the trailer or whatever. Looked very weird to me. It just looked like something looked off with it, and I can't really put my finger on what it was. There was just something odd about it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Seemed
like an interesting concept, though.
Interesting concept, yeah. The next one was a kind of like isometric roguelite called Ascent Zero, which is coming in July 13th this year. Everywhere. It's going to be in Game Pass as well. For me, specifically, the next one is Bluey's Happy Snaps. As a dad now, I've got a game I can play with my son.
Dozo said this was the highlight of the show, so
yeah, for sure, definitely the highlight of the show. Yeah. You walk around as Bluey, taking photos of things and people, and solving like
Bluey Snap.
Yeah, Bluey's Happy Snaps is what it's called.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's just running around as Bluey.
Nintendo, you know what to do.
Nintendo, get on it, bro. Get on it. How they gonna take that from you? How dare you?
Yeah. But yeah, that is coming. We're using US terms here. Fall 2026. Going to be Play Anywhere and Game Pass title. Finally happening. Dispatch is coming to Xbox.
I did see this. This is the one thing I did see.
Yeah. In summer 2026. Why you were waiting this long, I don't know. But yeah, going to be on like Xbox, PC, in cloud, Play Anywhere title. Not Game Pass, but that's fine. The next up was Eternal Life of Goldman, which this looks quite cool to me. It's like a side-scrolling platformer where you play an old man, so I can relate. But it's kind of got like that kind of like almost Cuphead art style to it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But it's very like very like in-depth art style. Like it's all like hand-drawn looking, but it looks really cool. I don't know for anyone out there who remembers like the old, like I'm talking old like Tintin and those kind of things, like those cartoons.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those, but as a video game. It looks quite cool. It looks like it's going to get very in depth when it comes to like some of the platforming. Again, that's coming this year at some point. It's going to be a Play Anywhere title. It's going to be in Game Pass, and there is a demo available right now. Next up, we got
on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I believe so. Yep. It says it on the Wire article. So yeah. Next up was The Expanse: Osiris Reborn. So this is the one based on the TV series and the books as well, I believe. So yeah, it looks like Mass Effect, but they say that it's not like Mass Effect, but it looks exactly like Mass Effect. So take that with a pinch of salt. It looks cool. That isn't coming until next year, but there is a beta dropping next month. However, I looked into this a little bit further. The beta is only available to people that pre-order the high-end versions of the game.
Puke. No, thank you.
Yeah. Also, just wait until it comes on PC, and I'm sure there'll be a demo there as well.
I also thought this was the worst showing of the game, in my opinion. I did not. Yeah. I was not really a big fan of the showing of this game here.
Yeah.
And all the other times, I feel like has gotten me more excited for the game.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, we had Forever Ago, which looks like a kind of A24 but video game kind of thing. Like it's coming of age, like you're an old man in a camper van is how I described it. But it's you going off and revisiting like all of the kind of like locations that you went through as in your younger years with your now deceased wife, and just like reliving those memories and kind of like so it's more of like a a walking sim but driving sim kind of thing. Looks interesting. That's coming fall 2026. Going to be available everywhere, Play Anywhere, and Game Pass. Then we had like Frog Squad, spelt with a W because they're cool like that.
Okay.
This is a co-op game where you work with your people to kind of like secure food for the Swamp King, is what they called it. And you're basically using your frog abilities to traverse levels and bring snacks to like hit a quota kind of thing. So it looks like it's a co-op party game kind of stuff. And that's going to be, again, Game Pass June 2026 this year. Next up is the one that I'm very excited. I think it was probably the one I'm the most excited for, which is a game called Grave Seasons. And the way that I've been describing...
Oh, I've seen this.
Yeah, so this is basically, imagine if an isometric Stardew Valley with serial killers.
This is Code Carnage's game, right?
No, you're thinking of a different game. No, you're thinking of a game called Emberville.
You're right, I am. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. You're right.
Yeah. But that does look good.
Shut up.
But Grave Seasons, you are building like a little home in a town, and randomly people start getting murdered, and it's your job to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, but it's like again, I haven't seen it. I've been behind. I'm sorry.
Cool.
Is this like what's Stardew, right?
Yeah,
that's sort of art style. Yeah. I swear I've seen this trailer before, though.
I think we did.
Yeah,
I think we saw it. There was like a bunch of horror games or something like that at one point, or somebody had a collection of games.
So it's Blumhouse when they did their showcase. They showed like a bunch of like horror games. So it's been published by them. So it is coming to Game Pass, and they got a release date, which is August 14th. And it looks really interesting. From what I understand of this game, I believe the killer changes every time you play it.
Yes, I think you're right.
So like it's always random, so you can't just like, I know going into it it's going to be that person.
Yeah.
It's like it will always be random. So that's pretty cool. And then next up we got Hades 2, finally getting the 1.0 release date coming to consoles, which is April 14th. And as with the previous title, it is going to be day one on Game Pass as well.
That's a big get.
Yeah.
Just a question: what tiers of Game Pass is it going to be on?
Doesn't say. It just says it's available with Game Pass.
Hey, Crash. When you're like us, we got Ultimate. It don't matter.
We don't matter. We don't matter. Yeah,
we got Ultimate. We got Ultimate. It don't matter. It don't matter to us.
One of these premium plebs out there now. No.
He said it. It wasn't me. He said it. Hey, don't come for me. It was him. It's him.
I didn't stir.
I'm doubling down.
Yeah.
Damn.
Next up in the list, Hunt of the Reckoning Death Wish, which apparently, from what I understand, is the first Hunt of the Reckoning game in over 20 years. It's a vampire game. We don't know anything. It was just a cinematic trailer. Apparently, it's
I
a
want you to know
first-person
while I was
action
watching
game.
this. At first, I was like, "This is Blade," and then it was a white guy. I'm like, "This is not Blade."
Yeah, this is Redfall 2. What? Yeah.
Hey, Snape's black. You don't know that. Snape's black. Hey.
Daddy, good point. Good point.
You don't know that?
Hey, you don't know that.
We
saw promotional images for Blade being black, but you don't know that. Right?
They could have made it. They could have won it. It's been so long. They could have won
artistic change. Artistic change.
Exactly. Artistic license. It's a real thing.
Sure.
Hunt of the Reckoning Death Wish coming next year, summer 2077. 2027. Yeah. Like people were annoyed that the games was coming out so far like down the line. And I didn't know it was like 50 years.
Xbox has been doing a really good job of showing like the upcoming games. That I will say that so many games in 2027 is like something that I feel like somebody could pull it down a notch for them.
Yeah. We've got a world premiere next, which we know we all love, right?
World premiere.
There it is. You heard it here first, people. This is Musa, Dirty Fate, one of the silliest names ever. Isn't that how Jar Jar Binks says moose?
Mr.
Isa Musa. But yeah, this is a action title set in feudal Korea. Very much looks down Kresh's alley. I'm just gonna say Souls.
Dark Souls? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Action, like, but maybe more in the Neo camp than a Dark Souls camp. But
You play Neo 3?
You gonna
Good
put
talk.
Musa Dirty Fate?
Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, if you want to, you can do it next year when it comes to Game Pass.
True.
Cool.
Then we got one we should probably all play at some point when it drops. Is Serious Sam Shatterverse. So this is
Wait, the new Serious Sam?
new Serious Sam, and it is a co-op game.
Huh.
So the trailer makes it look like you're gonna have all of the different Serious Sams across like all of the eras of Serious Sams. And yeah, you can play with all your mates. It is coming this year, is all they've said. It's going to be a Play Anywhere title. So yeah, Xbox and PC. Then we got DLC for Stalker 2. So this is the Cost of Hope DLC, which is going to have over 20 hours of gameplay, new zones, new abilities, things like that. And that is coming this summer.
Fair enough.
We're all going to be jumping back into Stalker 2 to play that.
Didn't jump in the first time.
Fair enough. What we are probably, I know me and you, Fix, are definitely going to jump into is Stranger Than Heaven. This is the brand new title from RGG Studio, the team behind Yakuza.
Oh, then yes, 100%.
Yes.
Chris jump in.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Chris was in there.
I didn't realize they showed. Oh wait, no, I did. This is the only game I saw the trailer for, and it didn't look great.
No, so this is the one that annoyed a lot of people. I think I really liked what they showed. I think the problem was because it had no game audio; it was just pure music, and then it was muted action cut to the music.
There were some people also thrown off by the fact that Snoop Dogg appears in the game as well.
But they've been doing that. That's not that surprising to me. Like we just got Samoa Joe as well. Like they've been doing that.
They've been doing that.
So I don't really see why that's a big deal. To be honest with you.
Yeah,
no.
people are people.
People are people. And I think the thing that annoyed people was it's like we got no real information from this trailer, except there's going to be more information in May when they do a deep dive.
Which is fine. The game takes place over 5 generations or whatever it is, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, I liked what we saw in here, what was shown here. I feel like it was a good snippet for something to like get more excited for the game.
Yeah, for sure.
They can't blow their whole load at one time.
Yeah,
they could.
They could. Maybe they should have done. Who knows?
That's how you have a baby.
That's how you. It's true. I can confirm. I do know.
The birds and the bees conversation. Go on, fix it.
I got you. So hey guys, my name's MC Fix. I'm going to teach you today about the birds and the bees. All right, there's a bee and there's a bird, and if you blow your load, you create a new specimen. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Worst TED Talk ever.
Where's my clap?
Oh, sorry. That's what happens when you blow your load. You get the clap.
Okay.
I was too busy thinking about the new specimen. My bad.
Yeah. God, that's what the specimen is. It's the clap. Next up, we got Super Meat Boy 3D. We got a release date for this, which is not that far away, March 31st. So as of recording, like 2 days away. And it is going to be in Game Pass. So for all those Super Meat Boy fans who want to lose their shit at this game, you can do it in 2 days.
I played Super Meat Boy not long ago on a show.
Yeah.
Can't talk about the rest, but yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm very curious to see how the younger generation treats a game like Super Meat Boy. I don't think they'll rock with it, but
yeah.
It had its time, its place in there. Look, don't get me wrong. I think it's one of those games that get shown when it first got shown. It's all like, oh, Super Meat Boy, and then now you sit here and it's like coming out in 2 days. Like,
yeah.
This is a game.
Like,
here's my thing.
This is a game that needed to come out right after it was shown.
It needs to be out now.
Shown and drop. And I think you would have had a wave of people who would have jumped in and been talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what else I think this suffers from? Again, I'm literally at a con right now, right? And there's no games at this con. And though that's the type of game that should be there's like no AAA, like AA sort of. That's the type of game that shows well because it's super to the point, like gets people interested. And like I would do that at Comic Con and EGX and things like that, right? Like you go and play this game. Now I've just come back from one of the biggest UK cons. It has no presence at all. It's very strange. But
To get into the weeds of what I think is going to be a problem for this is, I think Game Pass might actually be an issue for completionists. Like, because this is going to because it's a Super Meat Boy is a super hard game.
Yeah.
Like, I think there'll be a lot of people that will jump in to try it out, find out how hard it is, and go, nope, I'm out.
Gotcha.
Because I've not paid extra, so I'm not losing anything. I'm just like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Out.
Quick bounce rate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's going to have a lot of bounce rate. Next up, we had a tactical RPG, which like didn't really wow me at the time, but it's a game called Vaunted. It looks like you are XCOM meets Gears Tactics kind of thing, but like over the shoulder view. I was not a good showing for me, I don't think.
No.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. But we can hopefully see more soon. It is coming out later this year on PC, so it's going to be a PC only title to start with. And then last on the list, again, because it is alphabetical, fresh, hold your excitement. It is Wuthering Waves.
Wuthering Waves?
Wuthering Waves. Gacha time, baby. Yep. I mean, we joke, but it's nice to see Xbox bringing more of these titles to the platform. But yeah, it's going to be here
to come.
I know.
It's kind of I wonder.
A little too late.
I wonder how good this will do on Xbox and how good Genshin does on Xbox. I know Zenless Zone Zero, I'm pretty sure does pretty well on Xbox, but I don't know about the others.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to like. People get into these games so early that it's hard, I'd imagine, to get people to play on your platform later on.
100%.
It's possible, I guess. I do want to point out one weird thing here that it says it's coming to Xbox Game Pass. It is a free-to-play game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have some sort of didn't they do this with Genshin where they gave away like in the Game Pass thing they gave like gems or something like that. That's what they mean by it. Like
rubs me the wrong way a little bit, you
Oh,
know?
yeah. I mean,
it's
Fortnite's
a
in Game
weird one.
Pass.
True.
Fortnite Crew is it's a weird one. But yeah, coming July. So not even anytime soon. So yeah, we're still a few months out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the
showcase.
Yeah, that's the
that
issue.
makes sense.
Wuthering Waves not coming
That makes
until
sense.
July. Yeah.
Well, no, but I think the whole thing, right? It's like a lot of like, oh, we've got this, still a bit away. Got this, it's still a bit away. Where people probably like, if you are going to show Wuthering Waves, like, and it comes today, that's a sort of announcement you're expecting from that, not and it's coming in July. So
I think that was the issue. There was nothing like big for people to be excited about after the showcase had finished. Like there's nothing like you say, like a shadow drop of something or like an announcement of something that is coming in, like a big title coming in a few days. Like I think they were pinning hopes on the Stranger Than Heaven showcase coming in May being an exciting thing for people. But I think because Stranger Than Heaven had such a bad showing for a lot of people in this showcase, it put a bit of a sour taste on people. Because it was very much like, there will be a show. They did this thing where they were like, they showed it in the middle of the thing and said, there will be a showcase later on. And then the last thing was the date for the showcase at the end of the partner preview. And it's just
that's not a good look.
Yeah.
So you got to remember as well, this is the first show, whatever you want to call it, from the Asher regime.
Yeah.
So they've already walked on a rake instantly, really. Like I know this was already pretty planned. It was so many people work on these things. We know that we work in the industry, right? But unfortunately, this is your first one. So, not a great start, really, if we think about it.
Yeah, on paper it is not an exciting showcase because, like you say, we've gone through them all later. It's very much like a 2027 or later this year kind of showcase, and it's like nothing exciting coming out soon.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously we are going to be fair, we are about to go into big gaming season with obviously Summer Game Fest and things like that. So they'll be saving a lot of announcements for around that time when there'll be more eyes on things.
Crash, we going?
Yeah.
Going where?
This is my
Something
last year, Crash. I'm being deadly serious. No word to my mother right now on this podcast with you. If you say you can get yourself to wherever it is, LA, right? San Fran. Oh, San
no,
Fran?
it is LA. No, it is LA. Yeah.
Thank
No,
you.
it's
If
GDC
you
that was
say we can get our butts out there, this might be the only chance I get, mate. This might be it. The boy
I'll
is
let
on
you know.
tour. This
I'll,
might.
I'll look
I'm being
into.
serious. And so
No,
what?
yeah.
I'm
I'll look
totally.
into it.
This will be the law. I think this is it. Like I think next year, I've got no chance. And I said that last year, and I was like, "Yo, we should actually figure this out." So
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there. This
Yeah.
could be our last chance, Crash. I may never actually see you in the flesh. Is that what you want?
Don't answer that.
God, carry on with the podcast, bro. Jesus Christ, that hurts, man. That hurts. After everything we've been through,
Where's
9
the
years of
date
friendship,
fix?
that would be there. It would be in LA.
So you need me in front of you to agree to a dinner date? That feels extra.
Nah, I tried. I think I just want to hate you.
I want
so.
everybody to listen to know that me and Fix got a notification for 9 years of our friendship, and I messaged Fix telling him, "So does this mean we're gonna have a dinner date or something to that effect?" And Fix responded with a GIF, I think, of basically saying, "Fuck no."
Of course, it's a gift. I fucking hell. Yeah. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Yeah, it doesn't sound exciting, unfortunately, but it was an interesting showcase nonetheless. I will go back and watch it though, so because I want to be informed a bit more.
To give it credit, like I think all the showings themselves were fine. Like I say, for like the lack of excitement in any of the dates and things like that is one thing, but like everything looked good. Like the presentation was good. I think Aaron Paul as the voice actor, like I knew for a fact Dispatch was coming before like it even showed up.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. But no, it was good. I think it was a good preview for what it was. I think a lot of people might have got too hyped up thinking, oh, it's the first, like you said, the first Asher regime preview.
Yeah.
What we're gonna get. And it's just like it's a partner preview, it's partner games. It's
Yeah.
And again, it's a
like
partner
also-
preview a few months before like big summer season.
I think the last time we had a partner preview, we also got stuff like Ninja Gaiden and things like that. And then you had
Yeah.
not too long ago the developer direct where you saw stuff like the Pokemon teams game and things like that, where the people
Game
were probably
Freaks.
hoping for something
Yeah.
more AAA somewhere in here because it is the third party partner, whatever.
Bro, you get a game of the year contender though. I know this. The problem is with like Dispatch, it's not coming right now, but like Dispatch is.
Yeah, but
Dispatch is amazing.
the problem is also Dispatch is old, so a lot of people that are complaining are probably like super invested in gaming and have already played it. It's kind of like the issue with the discourse to a degree as well. I think I'd probably give it like if I had to score it, probably like a solid 7 of a showcase. Like it didn't wow me, but it also wasn't bad. There was no big pacing issues. There was no anything that I could really look at. It's just the stuff shown to a certain degree just wasn't super great, or it was so far out that like automatically like popped out of my head right away.
Yeah.
Fair
There's
enough.
there's a few good things in there that like I'm genuinely excited for, like specifically Grave Seasons, adding Hades 2 achievements to my Xbox account because I had so much fun playing it on PC. There are things in here for me, but yeah, I think I can understand why people might have been frustrated, but I don't think it was that bad myself. And I think, yeah, I'm with Crash. I think if we're giving it a ranking, solid 7 is totally fine.
And this is why you have to watch things live chat, so I can't rate it. I'm sorry. Moving on. Next story, if we have any. Do we have any more? How many stories we got? Because I need to go.
We have one more story, and we'll get through it quickly. And it's a fun one.
That's right. Go on.
1,000 people have lost their jobs.
Ah, shit. See, I knew I should.
Who's this fun for? Despawn?
Tim Sweeney's bank account, I guess.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I forgot about the Epic stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, just to quickly run through, Epic are laying off 1,000 people and are shutting down multiple game modes in Fortnite. I'm going to quickly go through the kind of notification I got from Epic themselves. So Rocket Racing, Ballistic, and Festival Battle Stage will be going offline. I'm not going to read through everything, but I'll give you the cliff notes of Rocket Racing is going to be going offline in October 2026. You'll no longer be able to build stuff in that. Quests will no longer be available. The track template thing is going offline. So that is completely closing. Ballistic, which was their kind of Counter-Strike-esque mode,
Yeah.
that is going offline even sooner. That's going offline in April 16th. Again, they will be still adding. They're going to be adding in support so that people can make game modes like it, but they will no longer be having a ballistic mode in there. So the Unreal Engine kind of like editor that they've got in the Fortnite system that you can use, that's still going to be available to people to build stuff, but ballistic itself is going. And then the last announcement was the battle stage in Fortnite Festival. So this is their Guitar Hero Rock Band mode. So it's not closing completely. So there's still going to be a music mode in there. But it is the competitive PvP mode, which was 4 teams of 4 players playing against each other. That's going. So they are saying that they are going to improve the Fortnite Festival main stage and jam stage modes. But yeah, the competitive mode is going completely. And then also, obviously, like I mentioned right at the beginning, this is all on the back of them announcing that they are letting go 1,000 people.
Yeah. Where do we start? I did see the story about the wife who posted about the gentleman who's going through brain surgery, if I'm not mistaken.
Terminal
Cancer, I
brain
think it
cancer,
is.
I think, is
Cancer,
the,
terminal cancer. Okay, thank you. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Just to confirm, like, for those that don't know that story, one of the people let go. The only reason he had insurance to go through his treatments was because he worked at Epic. He's now lost that. So now they're having to obviously pivot to try and figure out what the hell to do.
I'm not going to do a commentary on bloody American medical, but Jesus fucking Christ. Like, but yeah, this is obviously terrible news. Again, another big firing of one of the biggest studios in gaming at the moment. 1,000 people, bro. 1,000 people. I saw Tim tweet out like, "Oh, this is nothing to do with their quality and blah blah blah." I just found it so patronizing to like these people that have lost their jobs.
Yeah, because I think it was very much like there is now so many great CVs out there. It's just like, yeah, there are, because you just let them out into the field.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with their quality of their work. Everyone at Epic was amazing. Like, bro, stop it, man. Like, stop it. Like, yeah, it's hard. I feel very angry at these companies. I feel super sympathetic to obviously the people affected. And I'm just like, okay, but where are 1,000 people finding jobs right now?
Yeah. When
like,
every week is another story of like another studio closing down or things like that. I've seen a lot of people rallying around it though. Like, I know that CD Projekt Red have posted that they've got a load of job openings and like people are more than happy to apply and stuff. But but CD Projekt Red are not based in the US primarily. Like their main studios are in the US. I think they're in Poland. So there's a lot of moving if they wanted to do that. They did say they got remote jobs as well, but yeah, no, there are jobs out there, but not to the scale that we are losing jobs. Yeah. I did see an article. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I can't remember what he did. He was like he's a composer for like some huge games who'd sent off like 40 CVs and had 1 reply.
Yeah.
And he was like, apparently like an award-winning composer for video games. Is like, that's how bad it is out there.
Yeah, but that's probably a negative that he's an award-winning composer because it probably costs more. Like, that's the reality we're at right now, where it's like, well, you've got experience.
Too much experience, yeah.
Maybe not. Like, you're an award-winning composer. Oh, yeah, you're going to cost triple what we want to bring in for X, Y, and Z. So, yeah, but no, it's really sucky. Really, really sucky. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of talking about firings. We will still do it. That's what we do. We talk about the news, but oh my God, it is just
I don't know what
bad news after bad news in this industry. What needs to change is it's AI, right? That's the only they went in with all the metaverse stuff, and it clearly hasn't
backfired.
Paid off in a way that
Have you guys been following the metaverse stuff with like Facebook as well?
No.
Shutting down their metaverse.
Yeah, of
It
course
is
they are.
going to be a browser-based thing only, so the VR thing is dead, basically. And I think obviously Fortnite and Unreal Unreal have seen the similar
Doesn't
thing. It's with Epic.
just
Did,
doesn't work.
yeah, and did you guys see? I didn't put it in here, but I did see a thing when I was looking for news stories, talking about like, you know me, I love an excuse to rag on AI. Warhorse, the studio behind Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and 2.
Yes.
Crash is shaking his head. He knows exactly what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
They just fired their translator and told him it's because they were replacing him with AI.
Huh.
And people have praised them for like all the different translations they've
Yeah.
had to a bunch of different languages before.
So this is the person that
So-
translates their games to English as well. So adds all that nuance that everyone loves in that game. They've just turned around and fired him with the confirmation that it is, so they can replace him with AI.
How, just out of interest, like, could you imagine like actually confirming that as well in this generation
Yeah.
right now? Like right at this time right now, like
Yep.
sure,
Well,
okay, you want to fire someone, but like to actually come out and be like, oh yeah, I'm where
I mean,
you know, I'm sure through the
The-
grapevine they didn't just come out and say it, but
no,
whatever.
yeah. It, like
the
the
CEO.
guy who got fired said this, and said like, this is. They told me this is the reason I'm being fired and let go on a
It's
random
not
Monday morning.
surprising though.
Yeah.
Because the CEO, I think it was not too long ago, came out in like a really big supportive statement for AI and gaming
Mhm.
for exactly these sort of situations as well.
Yep.
So it's not, unfortunately, not too surprising. This ended up happening. It's really unfortunate though. I don't expect AI translation to be very good. If it's anything like machine learning,
I mean, if you
there's
tried
so
Google
much to language
Translate,
that a machine can't do because there's so much nuance to like what a word means in one language to what the same emphasis or the same purpose of that word means in a different language that you just lose through a
Of
machine.
course, yeah,
we're
absolutely.
gonna get back. Not even the same thing, but like we're gonna get back into like it was infamous at how bad it was, the Final Fantasy VII OG version. Like the translation from that to English from its original Japanese was terrible because there was no one in place to do a proper check of it. And then we're getting into that situation now where we're like, well, we'll just replace people with AI, and we're going to get into similar things where like they'll just put things out. I think we've seen it in games in the past, as like last year or so, where it's like you see like the actual prompts in their captions in some of the subtitles in games of like where you can see that they've used an AI prompt and stuff like that because there isn't a human checking it.
Yeah.
Really unfortunate.
Well, that was fun. Thanks, D-Spawn.
You're welcome. Happy to help. Do you want to get in a fix a sack?
Yeah, go on then. Let's get through some questions. Remember, you can email in myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com or hit us up in the Discord or leave comments below this YouTube video and ask us some questions and we will answer them on the show. Who we got first?
So first up, we've got Origin Cookie Man. So this is something we have touched on briefly already, but his question is, do you think an Xbox subscription partnership could work, and which existing subscription services could potentially be a better fit?
All right, break it down for me. What's he talking about?
So we're talking
The
about
Netflix.
the Netflix thing where like bundling in Game Pass.
I mean, could it work? Yeah, I think when I was in America and they had the Samsung TV and I showed them how all that worked, I think it's quite impressive, and I think it could be the same thing with Netflix, right? Who doesn't have Netflix in their house at this point? Literally, somebody in your house is paying for Netflix. So I do think it can be successful, but I don't know how successful it would be. Is the thing, and again, I think the issue they have is if it's all cloud based, which you'd assume it is. As soon as someone has a bad experience, it ruins the whole experience on there.
Yeah, but again, the flip side of that is like if you have a bad experience in cloud, you're probably gonna have a bad experience on Netflix because it's the same network connection. I mean, granted, you are running a bit more intensive things than just streaming.
A bit more
video.
intensive. A video game's a little bit more intensive than just video.
But you
a
are still
little
just
bit, you know?
But you are just streaming a signal, right? At the
True.
end of the day, because it's all running on
No.
dedicated servers.
You're streaming a signal, but you're also sending something back. Which
Yeah,
you
you've
don't
got the
do.
inputs. Yeah, true.
Yes, of course, yes.
But yeah,
I don't hate the idea of it at all.
no, I think it could work for sure. We talked about it in depth earlier. Like there are very interesting ways where they could make it a bit more in depth, and like across, like rather than it just being you pay for a bundled price and just get the two separate things. I think there are ways you could bundle it in together. Other subscription services, which would be a better. I don't know if on paper, I don't think anything would be a better fit than that. I think it works really well side by side. What might be interesting is maybe something like an Apple Arcade subscription where you get like a mobile gaming subscription thing, like you get access to that. Like we've seen like Apple TV being like bundled in with things in the past. Like you could see an Apple Arcade thing like that. So like most gamers have a mobile phone as well. If you don't want to play cloud games on there, you can still play Apple Arcade games and install them. And games are getting a bit more in depth in what is available in Apple Arcade as well. So like you could get some more in depth.
Division coming. Talking mobile. Division coming soon. Division coming. I'm actually really excited for it. Well, I've gone through that phase. That's good. We're on Division now.
But yeah, but no, those are the kind of things where I could see like an Apple Arcade subscription bundled in might be interesting, or maybe that whether it just be like you pay for both, or it's a benefit of paying for a higher tier on Game Pass or whatever. Like I think I could see that being a good fit.
Yeah, I feel like with this whole thing, Xbox is going to be in a field of rakes, and all they have to do is not step on the rakes. Which sometimes is a very hard ask of Xbox.
I feel like they're aiming for rakes at this point.
Time will tell, I guess. Time will tell. Next one, hit us.
Next up is Wild Yami enters with Nintendo coming out and saying that starting in May that prices will start to differ between physical and digital copies of the games. Do you think that Xbox or PlayStation will adopt something like that as well? So this is the news that going forward, I think starting with Yoshi, the new Yoshi game, it is going to be £10 more expensive to buy a physical version rather than digital. And they're saying that
because of people like me,
resellers, but you know, it's just they're saying that it's because obviously like production costs, it costs more to produce a cartridge and a box and send it to shops and all that kind of stuff, which we all knew already. Do you think like Xbox and PlayStation would do a similar thing to that?
Nope.
No.
You don't think so?
No, because I think Nintendo are in a very unique position where their games don't go on sale. Xbox and PlayStation games go on sale so much quicker than a Nintendo game. And even when you do get like a Nintendo game go on sale, I looked at it the other day on the Switch too. I'm like, bro, that's still really expensive.
It's like a 7% deal.
Yeah, exactly. It's here's 3% off. You're like, bro, that's not a sale. That's like, come on. It is, but you know what I mean. So no, I just don't think Xbox and PlayStation will follow suit. Let's not pretend that like Xbox, PlayStation. Sorry, one more time. Let's not pretend that Nintendo aren't the company that charged us £80 for Mario Kart. All right. Let's not pretend.
I will say that the digital version has gotten cheaper, I guess, if you want to look at it, because games are normal $70. The digital version is $60. I don't expect that to be the case. I expect this was probably always going to be a $60 game, and they're charging more for the physical, but that is one thing to note. I also think it's possible that you do see this on Xbox and PlayStation, but not from Xbox and PlayStation. I think you can see third parties doing this. I imagine there will be some third parties who try to do this. And are like, we can charge $10 more for physical, whether they need to or not, more money, whatever, you know. But yeah, I think I now that you mention, I do think Xbox and PlayStation are an interesting situation where I don't think they do it, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they try and swing it for a game. And before it even comes out, they're like, okay, we're not doing that.
So
I think people will jump on.
So here's the thing. So like you say that like they wouldn't do it, but Xbox have shown that they are willing to jump on the bandwagon of charging extra. Like they tried to charge $80 for Outer Wilds 2.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. I think they'll walk it back.
Yeah,
because people will jump on them.
I don't
think they stick to it.
I think until like enough third parties are doing it, like I don't think the first parties are going to do it themselves. I don't think they want to take that bad publicity.
Other than Nintendo,
Other than Nintendo, but again, like you say, Nintendo.
So
are in a position
has the
where...
price gone up though? That's what I'm confused. So it's just physical staying the same and digital's gone down, or has physical gone up?
So it's hard to say because one game so far they've said.
Yeah,
well, say it's going to be more.
Okay.
Like going forward, they've only confirmed the one price so far.
The way they have it shown right now, you would assume that it's gone down because Yoshi is $60 compared to the normal $70 for, like, what is the standard for a game right now? But Yoshi's
Yeah.
also the type of game that I could have seen them release it at $60 as well.
That could have been at 50. We don't know.
No,
So-
100%. It's where it's like,
yeah. So just to confirm,
Who
I've got it in front of me
knows?
here. The download version of Yoshi and the Mysterious Book is currently going for $49.99. The physical
Yep.
version is $58.99. So it's going up by £9.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So they are coming for people like me who buys physical only so we can resell it.
Yeah.
When we're done. I'm not talking about like scalping people, by the way.
Yeah. The people who buy, play, and then pass it on. Yeah.
Well, that is rather interesting. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Not in the
I don't
list.
like it.
Yeah, not in the list of questions that we've got here. But do you see this like another like nail in the end of physical media?
Not with Nintendo. Nintendo still to this day doesn't matter what console, doesn't matter. I thought the re-releases of like all these games on Classic would do more damage. It hasn't done more damage to the resale. Like Fire Emblem, whatever one is one that I used to have, and I sold it for 80, but it's worth like 350 or something silly now.
Yeah, I think the problem is
I think
not so
Nintendo
much a
just
problem.
it's nostalgia. People
Yeah.
just hold so much nostalgia still for Nintendo products, period. So no,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Also, I don't think it's just so much as a nostalgia thing. I think it's that Nintendo have shown multiple times that they don't support backwards compatibility in those kind of instances. Like this, like obviously with Switch 1 to Switch 2, it's a bit different because you can still use the Switch 1 discs. But they historically have shown that it's like they limit how you access their old games. Like you have to basically own the system or pay for a subscription.
Yeah. So.
Cool. Next question from Big Willie P. Sales data has been mixed. Oh, we're talking about Nintendo here again. But it seems Nintendo's re-release as a Switch 2 edition ploy for their first-party Switch 1 games is working. Add some DLC, upgrade frame rate, mark it as a Switch 2 edition, and make $20 a game. Could this work with some Xbox One or even Xbox 360 first-party IP? And if so, which ones? He thinks, I'm thinking they will put the base game on Game Pass and charge $20 for the upgrade or new content.
Rinse and repeat the last question and every answer I just said. No. It works because it's Nintendo.
Yeah.
I think it's even deeper than that. Xbox has been big on backwards compatibility. I feel like doing this would be kind of disingenuous to like what their big push was. Not to say Xbox doesn't do that sometimes. They could 100% try and do this. But the most you'll get with that is like a Gears of War Reloaded, right? Of a where they give it out, but even that they gave out for free.
Even they gave that to us. Yeah, exactly.
I don't think people would be super well receptive to that because during the early Series X days, it was the Series days where they were doing all the remasters to all those old Xbox games of like you can play it now in 8K with 60 frames per second, whatever. So no, I don't think they can do that.
Yeah,
they can. I don't think it would be successful for them.
Yeah, no, they won't. Because that's the thing. Like one of the big things of like them putting all this extra effort into getting things on Game Pass stuff is like the FPS boost and things like that as well.
Yeah,
and it's like they spent so much time touting how the Series X like boosts the like compatibility of games. Is like to then turn around and be like, and now we're going to charge you for it. Like no, it would like Crash says, it flies in the face of everything they've been doing with preservation.
Agreed.
The only way I can see them doing it is if they do the thing that Ubisoft's doing with the Rayman game of like, here's some lost content or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That will include with it. I think they can do that if they want to charge $20 or whatever for that.
Like a rare replay.
People would be okay with that.
Yeah.
But even like I say, even that was old Xbox Rare Replay. Like Rare Replay now would just be, we've now put the games on the newest console. You know, it works with Nintendo because again, Nintendo will sell you even me, right? Like Nintendo sold me a new console, then they gave me new content in Mario Party, the new Mario Party, and I've refused to buy the new Mario Party. So I'm like, no, you are. I can see you are trying to rip me off with this. Like this isn't enough content to be. And so until I can pick up a physical copy cheap enough, which will probably never, because again, those games just don't go down in price. I just have to sort of try and stay strong or bite the bullet at some point. But they would technically have gotten me to buy the game twice. Like, so yeah, I don't know. It works with Nintendo. It doesn't work with other companies. We've seen it with PlayStation and Last of Us. How many times has that been remade, re-released, 4K, textures, this blah 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 blah, collector's edition, whatever. Like it works until people start getting annoyed. And I don't think Xbox or PlayStation right now are in a position to annoy anyone. Nintendo don't care. Nintendo do what they want.
People will
Like,
buy
they
a
do
Nintendo
not
thing,
care.
yeah.
The new console drops tomorrow. Nintendo are selling them all. They're all gone. Like it's not a big deal to them. They don't care. Yeah, they play by their own rule set, and yeah, it's very interesting. But yeah.
Yeah. And then last question for today is from Toplift91. With constant price increases this generation, do you think console gaming is still worth it? Or is it better just to go the route of PC now?
Depends. Multi-layered question from my perspective. Number one, can you afford a PC? A PC is the best place to play video games. Period. Bar none. It's not even a question. Like
Unless it's
that's
Nintendo.
not. Well, yes, of course. But
Yeah.
for the argument of this Xbox podcast, I think we'll talk on that. But PC is the best place to play games, but it does come with a lot more to do. I don't think it's enough that people should worry about it. And I think some people, back especially 10 years ago when I first started, PC gaming was way more convoluted than it is today. Like, NVIDIA app, download your drivers, you're sorted, done. There's not much more to it than that. Don't get me wrong, every now and then PC will get a bad port of a game or something, but that realistically doesn't happen too often. Sorting out settings is not really a thing that happens anymore. Like you do the auto run, it shows you the best settings for your PC. So yeah, it's a multi-layered question because number one, can you afford it? Number two, do you want to sit at a desk and play games? That's the difference. Do you want and I even to this day, when I'm sat at my computer table, my computer in my office, I'm just like, God, I wish I had a lazy boy, armchair. Like, let me pop my legs out. And she's like, that's not the world I've chosen. Unfortunately, I've chosen ultra wide monitors and ultra high frame rates, but not comfortability all of the time. I just think console is going to eventually become the additive, right? Like Despawn and me, and like we've got one in our house, and we'll have it downstairs in the living room, so we can carry on playing games. And that's where like Play Anywhere is so good, and Xbox have been smart about becoming platform agnostic, I guess. But console's not going anywhere? It sells too much, but can you afford a PC? If you can afford it and you can put up with being sat at a desk, yes, you should be there, 100%.
Yeah.
It's not even a question anymore.
Yeah, there are obviously the ways around the whole comfort thing. Like you can use remote connections. Like you can hook it up to your TV and just use a controller if you want to. But
it's not good.
It's not
good.
the same. Yeah.
It's not good.
And yeah, I totally agree with you in the fact that like 9 times out of 10, the PC is the better place to pick up a game. It is 9 times out of 10 cheaper than it is on a console. Like buying it on Steam is cheaper. Like there are many legitimate websites that offer cheap codes. Make sure you go to reputable ones, people.
Don't get me. I had this conversation on my Twitch channel the other day. God, I won't say their name, but they know who they are. But they were like, "Oh yeah, I buy all my games on PC because I buy it off of insert website." Most PC gamers do it. I'm like, you know nothing about. And it felt like it's like, no, not most people do. No. Otherwise, platforms like Steam and Epic wouldn't exist still if most people did that. Like, yeah. So it was interesting.
Epic's not too long.
Epic's fine. I think Epic must be doing fine.
No, I'm talking about like 1,000 people.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
I really hope they didn't fire the person that was running the App Store. Yeah, legitimately, we're talking about like things like Steam, where like they have discounts constantly. Like I'm pretty sure there's a sale on right now as we speak.
There is.
And, so like there's always like a way to get cheap games. Like say they're the best looking version of a game, most of the time. Some like you say, ports sometimes not so much, but like that's a rarity in the grand scheme of how many games come out on PC.
That's a less and less common thing the bigger that PC's got. And I think the last time we've had a really like bad PC port would have been Monster Hunter, and I think that's like really the only one where it's like the PC port's notably worse than
Dragon's Dogma wasn't great.
No.
Yeah.
Which
is
so maybe we just
Capcom games. You want to look at Capcom and be like, "There's one thing Capcom doesn't do great."
I will say that.
Resident Evil was perfect.
Yeah, I think
was great.
Yeah,
So
but the
it's one of those ones.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think for this generation, I don't think this is much of a if you have the money and care for it. I think next generation, depending on price point, this will be a much more
Oh,
important conversation to have, depending on where the price of everything is.
Yeah.
well, this just we've not spoken about it, but PlayStation just up the price of the PlayStation Pro, right?
Yeah.
Literally, we were out shopping earlier, and where I grabbed Pokemon cards from, they had one in the shop window for £700. And I looked at Haley and was like,
It's an investment.
do I buy it now? I don't necessarily need it for me, but it's like, do I buy it now to have it? Because I don't see it going down in price. But it's a case of like, do I want it? Why do I want a PS5 Pro? I don't turn on my PS5 now.
Yeah.
Like, it's only going to be for GTA, and I'm probably going to play GTA on Xbox.
Yeah.
So I don't think the extra frames and whatever it will be, and it's going to matter because I'm going to buy it on PC as soon as it comes to that as well. So yeah. I don't know. Yeah, bro. This, but I think you're right, Crash. Next gen is going to be, it's a hybrid console. It's like, okay, do you care about it being a hybrid or do you care about it just being a PC? And then how much difference in price is that going to look like? So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Very interesting. All right, let's plug, and get ourselves out of here, boys. Crash, start with you. What you got to plug?
The YouTube channel. I'm not going to plug the podcast because there is definitely no podcast reviews on there, because I know for a fact, because I checked at the start of the showcase, not a single person left a podcast review, and I'm heavily disappointed. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, click on the latest podcast that's up there, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and then after you've done all that, go leave a podcast review if you haven't left a podcast review, please. We need it. We're starving out here for podcast reviews.
So hungry.
D-Spawn, what you got to plug?
I'm going to start by plugging the podcast reviews. I don't want Crash to go hungry. Feed the man. Look at him. He's wasting away. He needs the sustenance of a podcast review. Give him what he needs. YouTube, YouTube as well. Go leave a comment. All the usual stuff. You can find us everywhere. All the socials. Official MXAM, except for MXM official, except for YouTube, which is official MXAM.
Exactamento. I'm going to be selfish and do a proper one. My socials, please, if you don't follow me already, go follow me, MC Fixer, across every platform. The main ones I'm focusing on at the moment is obviously Instagram and Twitter. A like, a comment, a retweet goes a long way. I understand some people don't use social media as much as they used to. I totally understand that. Behavior's different. If you see a Discord message and it's an at everyone, I am begging at that point of like, please go like and comment and share. Like, especially with a DreamHack this week, it's like, God, I'm up against a lot of youngsters nowadays who are, the kids are only on social media, and my audience is like 25 to 30 plus, and you're like, guys, I need you to go and like and comment. It's like, God, again? I'm like, yes, unfortunately. So go like, comment, turn on notifications. That helps me a great bunch as well. I'd really would appreciate it. If you like this podcast and you want to keep going, you've got to support us other places, because we don't run ads on this thing and haven't done for the last 10 years. So please support us in other places. It would help a great deal. I'm going to get back to my mini vacation. It's not a vacation. I'm here for work. But until next time, love you, leave you. See you later. Goodbye.